The investigation into one of the greatest geological mysteries on Earth begins in the remote, frozen wilderness of Siberia. This enormous stretch of land, larger than half of the entire United States, remains buried under ice for most of the year. Winters can plunge to temperatures as low as -90 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the most inhospitable regions on the planet. But when the brief summer arrives, the thawing ice reveals something astonishing. An immense geological structure known as the Siberian Traps. Covering nearly 5% of Earth's surface, this strange landscape is made up of enormous sheets of ancient volcanic rock, with deep ravines exposing layers stacked hundreds of feet high. These stepped formations earned their name from the Swedish word trappa, meaning stairs. The discovery of this otherworldly region was not the result of a planned scientific expedition, but rather an accident of history. In 1863, Polish geologist Alexander Tikhonovsky was exiled to Siberia for political defiance against the Russian Empire. Banished to this frozen wilderness, he set about studying the land around him. What he stumbled upon was an enormous and unexplained expanse of layered rock unlike anything known in Europe. His records introduced the world to a geological puzzle that would fascinate scientists for centuries to come. Modern research into how these mysterious traps formed begins not with mountains of stone but in a swamp. Before the massive eruptions that created the traps, Siberia was a land of stagnant wetlands, teeming with plant life. Thick vegetation, shallow pools of water, and forests once covered the land. The strongest evidence for this ancient landscape lies buried beneath the lava. Immense reserves of coal. Coal, formed from the slow compression of dead plant matter over millions of years, reveals that for over 50 million years before the eruption, Siberia was home to vast swamps. Fossilized plants preserved within the coal date back more than 300 million years, showing that the environment was stable and lush. But around 250 million years ago, this world changed abruptly. The swamps vanished, and in their place appeared the vast stone steppes of the Siberian Traps. Something unimaginably dramatic had occurred. Studying this event is far from easy. The Siberian Traps lie in one of the least accessible parts of the planet. Modern expeditions require journeys of nearly 1,000 miles through mosquito-filled forests and icy rivers. After days of exhausting travel, researchers finally reach towering walls of black rock that mark the edge of the ancient lava flows. Even from a distance, the formations are instantly recognizable. Huge cliffs of basalt, volcanic rock, stretch as far as the eye can see. The sheer scale suggests that these flows once blanketed nearly all of Siberia. The key to unlocking the mystery lies in the type of rock itself. Basalt is an igneous rock, meaning it forms only from cooled lava. This discovery led scientists to conclude that the Siberian Traps were created by one of the greatest volcanic events in Earth's history. Unlike the cone-shaped volcanoes we imagine today, this eruption did not produce a single towering peak. Instead, enormous quantities of molten rock burst from deep fissures in the Earth's crust, spreading out in waves of liquid fire. Geologists call these flood basalts. To understand their magnitude, consider modern volcanic activity. On Hawaii's Big Island, Kilauea has erupted almost continuously for decades, creating new fields of basalt that cover a few square miles. But compared to Siberia, Kilauea is tiny. The Siberian Traps are estimated to be 500,000 times larger. Imagine molten lava spilling across the land, flowing outward for hundreds and even thousands of miles, forming layers upon layers until the hardened rock was more than a mile thick and stretched over an area the size of the continental United States. To witness such a scene would have been like watching the world itself being remade in fire. But how long did this cataclysmic event last? Volcanic rocks hold the answer. When molten rock cools, tiny mineral crystals form inside it. Some of these minerals contain radioactive elements that decay over time, acting like natural clocks. By measuring them, scientists can determine precisely when a rock solidified. Dating the oldest lava flows shows that the eruption began around 250 million years ago. Dating the youngest flows revealed something astonishing. The eruptions continued, wave after wave, for nearly 1 million years. This was not a brief disaster, but a relentless, drawn-out transformation of the planet's surface. The next question is why it happened at all. Most volcanic eruptions occur along plate boundaries, where Earth's tectonic plates collide or pull apart. Siberia, however, lies in the middle of a continental plate, far from these fault lines. The explanation lies deep beneath the crust, in the Earth's mantle. Geologists believe that a gigantic upwelling of molten rock, known as a mantle plume, rose from near the Earth's core. Heated from below, plumes rise like vast columns of magma, sometimes forming mushroom-shaped heads over 1,000 miles wide. When such a plume reaches the surface, the result is an eruption of unimaginable force, capable of covering continents in lava. Mantle plumes are among the greatest mysteries in geology. No one knows exactly why they form or why they suddenly unleash such violence. But the Siberian eruption was one of the largest known, reshaping the planet's landscape and climate. The immense plume likely broke through the crust, feeding the eruption for hundreds of thousands of years until the plume's energy was spent. The Siberian Traps remain a stark reminder of Earth's violent past. The layers of black basalt stretching for thousands of miles are not just stones. They are the frozen remains of one of the greatest volcanic events in history. For scientists, they tell the story of a catastrophe so immense it may have reshaped life itself on Earth. And though they stand silent today, these traps whisper of a time when fire and lava transformed the thriving world of swamps into a barren, rocky wasteland, an event whose echoes still haunt the science of geology.